this project is going to be one humongous project. So I'm going to be building this bouquet throughout a series, okay? And this is the first part. And in this part, we're going to be creating this retro puzzle maze piece for the middle of our bouquet, okay? And our bouquet is going to be a flower. And each flower, each part of the flower is going to have petals with shakers in it. So you'll need 3 strips of card, 4 centimetres by 29 centimetres, okay? And what you want to do is you want to score down each piece of card 2 centimetres in. So you want to 1, 2 and score in the middle there, in the middle of your card, okay? Okay, I always like to score on both sides, okay. Okay, then you want to mark your tabs, okay, and I've cut my tabs out here just to show you what size they'll want to be. So I've got my tabs from the widest point, you can see the tab shape there, are 2 centimetres from there, from this bit here, okay, and 1 centimetre underneath there, like that, and 2 centimetres across here, okay. Okay, once you've marked all your tabs out, what you want to do then is you want to cut those out. So you just want to cut up to your score line. What I like to do first, actually, is before I cut them, is I like to fold this inwards first, okay. Nearly forgot that. Okay, just fold it inwards and then flatten it out like this so you can see where that score line is, and then just cut your tabs out. And I like to try and cut most of that score line away, yeah, okay, just cut them out like this. Okay, to cover your strips like this, you will need 3 pieces of card or paper, 4 centimetres by 29 centimetres, okay, and you'll want to score down the middle, okay, at 2 centimetres, okay. Then you will need 3 strips, 2 centimetres by 29 centimetres. Then what you want to do is you want to take your green piece of thin card or paper or whatever colour you've got, and you want to tape that to your strip that you've got, that you've measured out and cut, okay. So how I do that is I just put some double-sided tape on the back and take that off, okay. And then when you bend that over, that should line up with your tabs, okay. So just bend all those tabs over like that, just so you can see that they're actually meeting like that. It doesn't have to be perfect, it really doesn't, okay. And then what you want to do is put some tape on your tabs. So just put a little bit of tape. This is easier than just measuring the whole thing out again and drawing it all again. So I just put a little piece of tape on the end of each tab. Okay, now you've taken all the front off of your tape, your double-sided tape, so you've got the sticky bit sticking out. So all you want to do is just stick that down like that. It doesn't matter if you've got a little bit sticking out, you can cut that off. Okay, you can see that's a little bit sticking out there, but that's fine. So turn that over And then just cut away these bits in between, so you've got a covered tabs. So you've got covered tabs. Okay, just like this. Okay, then what you want to do, you can see what you've got there now. You've got, this is all cut away here, which is really nice. Okay, so then what you want to do is turn that over and stick your yellow strip or whatever colour you've chosen on the back with some double-sided. Okay, that's great. So yeah, and then you've got your covered strip. Okay, and don't worry about these tabs, the white on the back of these tabs, because that's going to stick down onto your base. Okay, so that's your covered strip. So what you want to do is, what I've done here is I've drawn my round this. So you want to draw around your coloured piece, or you want to cut your coloured GSM. Okay, if you've done a colour piece, what I've done is I've cut it outside the 19 centimetre circle, just so I can make it more accurate, so I can cut it around the edge once I've glued it on. So I'm going to stick it double-sided. Okay, so I'm going to stick it on top within the circle that I've marked. Okay, okay, so we're going to take this double-sided off. Okay, now you've got your double-sided and you've taken the backing off of that, you just want to stick your circle there inside like that, and just I'm just going to cut away the bit that I've got around the edge, and I just find it's a bit more accurate if I do it this way. Okay, so now we're going to make the puzzle maze. So we're going to put our walls around the edge. So we'll definitely need this edge piece to be closed. Okay, so I've already stuck this on with hot glue. Okay, this is one of the strips we made up. Okay, so I need to obviously close the other part as well. You can actually do a longer piece and then just do it all the way around, but I haven't done that. So you can see on the back we've got yellow and green there, and you should only have 3 strips. Okay, that's enough to go around the outside. Okay, right, so I'm just gonna, that is just getting on my nerves, so I'm just gonna, that's it, sit that down there like that. Okay, so next what you want to do is just bring the rest of your strip round. It's going to take me about 3 strips. I did work that out. It's going to take about three strips. Okay, so I'm gonna so now we're going to have this bit to deal with. So I might actually, now we've got this far, we only need a little bit there, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these pieces off. There we go, so that can go, so that's going to be like that's going to go under there like that. Might need to overlap a bit, so I'm going to cut that there. Hopefully that's all right. You can just, because you've got that extra strip, you can play around with that if you've got the same as I have with this and it's a little bit uneven. Okay, so I'm going to put some glue on there like that. Okay, and then I'm going to I'm just going to just glue that in. Okay, so I'm going to cut my strip so we can get the little ball through the hole. Okay, so I've worked out where I want my hole to be, my little gap to be. So I'm going to bring it round. It's going to be quite hard, but I want to bring it round so it follows this circle all the way round. Okay, I'm going to stick that down there. So if I just get the ball, so if we're using that ball, okay, so that's going to go round like that. Glue this one on round like this. So you've got your little bit for it to run round. Okay, allowing for gaps in between, and you can sort of see how that's going to work. That's going to go down there. Okay, so you should end up with something like this. Okay, and you've got your little ball. You might want a bigger ball, I don't know, but there we are. So that's going to go the way through there like this, and that's your little puzzle maze. It's quite hard to get it all the way through. I'm going to cheat. Okay, there we are. So yeah, I really had a lot of fun doing this on the prototype live, so if you want to have a look at that, you're welcome to. Okay, there we are. So that's how that works. You could put a bigger one in there. It needs to be quite heavy to make it work. Okay, next what we want to do is we want to put some acetate over the top of this, so that the ball doesn't come out. Okay, now you might have some extra strips going. Hopefully you have. So what we want to do now is we want to stick a frame on the top there with some acetate on the inside. Okay, before we make this, what we want to do is put these extra strips inside here and stick them down. And actually, now you know that that's what you need, you could probably put tabs on the other side of this strip. Okay, you could probably do that, and it's just to support the frame. So these strips, I've cut them in a bit. Okay, 29 centimeters long by 1.9 centimeters wide. Okay, and these little tabs on here are very small. They're 0.5 centimeters. Yeah, they're very, very small. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to put these inside here and stick them down, and then we're going to put our frame on top. Okay, so first of all I'm going to stick these on. So I'm going to use hot glue for this, and if I just show you, these strips actually go quite neatly into there like that. So I thought, let's just stick them on in here. Okay, so okay, right, so that's that. Okay, next we're going to make the frame for our to stick on top. Okay, so first of all you want to take your template and you want to draw around your okay, and then cut that out. I've cut this out, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stick this frame onto the paper and then cut that out. And what you want to do is you want to take your backing off of your double-sided. Okay, and then just stick that down onto the back of your coloured card. Okay, then I'm just going to cut that out. Then, yeah, that looks nice. I like that. Then once you've cut out your circle, you want to stick some acetate on the back. And this acetate I've got only just fits within here, the frame, which is quite nice. I cut this end piece off, okay, and you really have to be careful because I don't know if you can see where that acetate lies, okay. You just want to bring that in so that you can get your double-sided round the edge and stick it down, okay. The best way of doing this is once you've cut it, just draw around your acetate, okay, just so that you know where to put that, so you know roughly where to put that tape. So then that tape needs to go in this piece here. So if you do a little star, you know where that tape's got to go. So then what you want to do, see I've drawn a line there, and inside there is where the tape needs to go, okay, just to stick that acetate down. Okay, so you might find, like I'm finding here, that you need to make the tape thinner. Yeah, because mine's smaller, but if yours is the same width as your frame, you'll be okay, but I like to take it in a bit. So yep, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go along there and put my tape inside that line, okay. Okay, then what, now you've got your tape all round the edge and you've taken the backing off, you need to just stick your acetate onto your frame like that. Okay, next you want to stick this to your tabs, and I've actually put double-sided on these, but I'd rather do hot glue, but I don't like to use hot glue with acetate, so it's all I've got. Okay, so just stick that down onto your tabs. Try and make sure your tabs are all upright so that they actually stick. Okay, that has worked not too badly for the first time. And then you've got your lovely, there we go, there it is, there's your lovely puzzle, your puzzle ball game there, your ball going around the edge. Okay, so I'm going to turn that over and you can see there's bits to trim around the edge, and I'm just going to cut them. So in the next video we're going to be making this flower part around the edge with a shaker petals. So I'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to like if you like this video, and you can also subscribe to this channel to help it to grow and get more videos just like this one. And put a little comment below and let me know what you think about this project so far. Okay then, bye bye for now.